today's video, we're going to be talking about when you should take your side hustle full-time. You really have to grind in that initial process. Those different services that you can offer. The world, how can you work as much as possible and earn as much as possible without having to sacrifice your time? Mic drop. So I know the idea of going full-time with your business can seem a little bit scary. However, there's a few things that we can do and put in place to ensure that the process is as smooth sailing as possible. So if you don't know me, a little bit about my journey into being a business owner. So I have had a business honestly since I was about 14 years old, and I've always been passionate about business itself. However, it took me many years of actually having a business before I went completely, fully in doing exactly what I wanted to do. I am a personal trainer and online coach. However, I do a little bit more than that. I don't just do that myself. I do have a team of coaches underneath me as well. I invest in property, I invest in stocks. I'm all about business growth as a whole. A few other side projects as well that I still do. And then I've done many things in the past, especially different businesses, that kind of thing, different avenues. So always thinking, you know, I'm not just like this boxed in one personal trainer. I have grown it to a company as a whole who's pretty well known in the kind of town that I'm in, I guess you can say. So a few of the things that you should be looking for when it comes to taking your business full time is making sure that you obviously have enough of a income and profit coming in. Remember as well, your actual income that's coming in and the profit that you're earning is very different. You know, you want to make sure that you can actually pay yourself and that you can live a comfortable life even with the low fluctuations. You don't just want to have a really good week in business and then think, okay, that's it, I'm ready to go hard. Because yes, there absolutely is going to be an element of being uncomfortable and taking that risk. However, it needs to be a calculated risk. Set a goal where you actually want to be realistically. So you want to work out the life that you live at the moment. How much does that cost you? What's your ultimate dream like? Because you don't just want to be the life that you're living at the moment. You need it to be a little bit above that. So when you do have those fluctuations, because business is never linear, you're going to have those dips, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, that's all part of the game. You want to be making sure the fact that your income is higher than that. So when you do have those dips, you're well and truly comfortable and you're not going to be stressing, because when you're trying to build a business from a point of stress and scarcity, that's when things can go haywire, and honestly, your customers can sense that. It's never a good point to be at. You want to be running your business from a point of feeling so safe and comfortable, because then you attract so many more clients. So the biggest piece of advice that I can give is to have a goal in terms of what you want to achieve, work out what it is, how much is required for you to be able to live that life comfortably, well and truly above your means. And then from there, have that goal. How many clients do I need? How many sales do I need for me to be able to get there? When you're confidently hitting that for consecutive few weeks, few months, then okay. Then from there, it's time to take your business full time, and you're going to be feeling so much more comfortable to do so. So for me, for example, when I was taking my business from face-to-face personal trainer, so I was a face-to-face personal trainer for 4.5 years, and my goal was always to just take my business completely online. So I was still juggling the two, and I still had my few online clients, but mostly, you know, all my clients were in the gym. That's how I kind of built up my initial lot of clients. From there, I knew my goal had to be 40 online clients per week, not just face-to-face, because obviously once I went online, then I'm going to lose my face-to-face. So I said, okay, for me, once I get that 40 and I'm holding there for a few weeks, then I feel super comfortable and I feel in a position where I can just go full-time with just my business. Was it scary? 100%. Did I have doubts? Absolutely. However, best thing I ever did. And you know what actually happened when I did go full-time online? Within a couple months of being full-time online, I doubled it and I was at 80 clients. And why is that? It's because you can put more of your energy there. You've got extra time to delegate into those extra tasks like content creation or putting out more knowledge. You know, you're not kind of spreading yourself thin, especially if you're, for me, it was somewhat easier, right? Because I was still doing face-to-face PT. I could still kind of use that to leverage and build up my online. It was still helping a little bit. But if you're in a job where you're actually working like full-time and it's some other completely different industry, it's going to be so much harder to try and balance the two. So, you know, even if you need to weave and slowly taper your way out and see if you can kind of drop back shifts or take back your hours or do a different casual job, just so you're not as mentally drained and exhausted trying to balance the two, because it's hard. Like, I totally get it. It's so hard. You physically don't have the time to be able to produce the amount of content. Whereas when I went full-time online, I was able to post content every single day, constantly. So my Instagram story is constantly popping up, you know, every single day. So it's constantly refreshing. So people are seeing my name come to the front of the feed, so I can post more. And I had the mental capacity and creativity to continue posting every single day, multiple times a day, which is what's required when it comes to growing a successful business. You need to be in front of as many eyes as you possibly can. And unfortunately, when you do work another job, it makes it really difficult. So you really have to grind in that initial process. But usually what you will find, if you really go all in, and once you do go all in on your side hustle and making it full time, you will find that honestly your business is probably going to double, because you can spend so much extra time elsewhere on other tasks that's going to be able to bring in new leads, get in front of more eyes, and as a result, you're only going to continue growing your business. So like I said, like for me, my goal as a face-to-face personal trainer, I said, okay, I need 40 online clients. Once I get there, and I told everyone, I told my family, I told my friends, once I get 40 clients online, then that's it. I'm going to go completely online, and then I'm going to leave my face-to-face. And then from there, I have to give 2 weeks notice, and then I did the jump. All my clients super loyal as well, so they also ended up following me, which I probably, I don't know, maybe only had like 20, 25 or something face-to-face clients. They all went online with me because they were so loyal and so amazing. I coach them still to this day, and then from there it's just a domino effect, and everyone can see all the benefits of online and showing what I'm doing. So yeah, it really is just a domino effect from there. So for me, that was my goal, and it was honestly one of the best things I've ever done. I myself now have been online for over 3.5 years now. It'll be 4 years in April 2025. So the next thing that's super important to have in place is having the correct systems. Make sure that your business is equipped to take that next step. Because the thing about business is that your business can change entirely overnight, okay? So for example, you posted Instagram reel, you wake up the next day, you've gone viral, you've got 1 million views. It can happen. You don't know. You cannot predict when your next video is going to be viral. And I promise you, it's always the most random videos that you would least expect. It always happens to be the videos that you put the least amount of effort into, that you just cannot predict, that's going to bring in the new list of followers. You can't predict it. And it's the whole quote, which I'm sure you've all heard before, is it can take you 10 years to seem like an overnight success. So you just have to keep going. You don't know when your overnight success, you don't know when that next reel is going to go viral. You don't know when your next video is going to go viral. You don't know when all of a sudden, even if you haven't gone viral, you might wake up the next day, you've got 10 leads that come out of nowhere. Because I promise you, even if you haven't gone viral, you'll have periods of time where it'll be super quiet, and then periods of time where it gets really busy. Unfortunately, it's never going to be completely even in terms of inquiries that will come in. So you need to be able to handle having new leads that come in and being able to take them all on at once. Don't prepare yourself for a slow burn, because it might seem like that for sure, but you're going to have weeks that are going to be busy, you're going to have weeks that are going to be dead. So make sure that you do have those systems in place so that you can handle a new and a large capacity of clients. Because if you have a reel that goes viral, for example, and you've got 50 people wanting to come into your world, okay, how are you actually going to be able to service them? Because if you work only one-on-one with your clients, and this is something for me that I had to figure out a few years ago, if you only offer one type of way to be able to work with you, and that's one-on-one coaching, you can only handle so many clients with that, right? There physically is only one version of you. There's only one way that they can be able to have access to you. You only offer one service. However, if you either have staff where you can delegate that to, or you have some kind of service like a masterclass or physical courses or a webinar, for example, that if you have 50 people that come into your world, if you're on a webinar, it doesn't matter if one person is on there or 1,000 people are on there. It's still the same amount of work for you. So how can you leverage and use your time as well, that if you have all these new people come into your world, how can you work as much as possible and earn as much as possible without having to sacrifice your time? Because time you cannot get back. There's only so much time in the day, there's only so much time in your week, and you can only physically do so much. So you need to really learn and have the correct systems in place and think, what services can I offer
that if new people come to my world, I have a service to be able to offer them that's not going to take away from my time, that's not going to burn me out either. Because yes, there's going to be some hard times, but for sure there's also going to be some really good times. If you stick at it, you're going to be successful. Like, there's no ifs or buts about it. One other thing that I also suggest to everyone, and this kind of goes on the same topic in terms of just having a service where you can cater a large audience, is the way I kind of like to explain it is, think of a pyramid, right? So your pyramid is all your different services. So you want to have a whole list of different services that people are able to work with you on. So at the very top of the pyramid, you've got your highest ticket, your premium coaching, your one-on-one. For me, that's my business coaching, PT mentoring, and it's also my coaching one-on-one regarding like nutrition, personal training, that kind of thing. Those are my highest ticket services. They cost the most money because you get the most access to me, right? But at the bottom, you know, you've got things like you've got your cheaper options. They will be things like, you know, ebooks, or maybe cheaper webinars, or might be a once-off kind of program that they can buy that's super cheap, that's not customized. It's like very much like a cookie cutter kind of option. And then in the middle, then maybe you've got like those more mid-ticket kind of options where you still get a little bit of access to you, or not so much. You might get like those more valued masterclasses or courses in there as well. So think about your pyramid, make sure that you have services to cater every single people, because everyone's going to be at a different point in their buyer journey. Maybe they're only ready to commit to something a little bit more affordable. Maybe they're ready to work with you one-on-one, they've got the money, they've got the cash they want. They're going to think, okay, hello, you know, if they call me and say, hey Jazz, I love who you are, I love what you're about, I want to be able to work with you in the closest proximity as possible, sign me up to your most one-on-one premium package. And every single person is different, and this is something that's really important to understand. Some people in this life are really only ever going to join those cheaper ticket options, right? Or those mid-tier options. Some people only ever will do that. They'll never be able to justify that more premium option. And there are people in this world who are going to do the opposite. They're only ever going to look at the premium, most expensive one, because psychologically as well, if you have a more premium option, even if it's not technically any extra services, without even thinking or looking at it, everyone's going to think that's so much better. Even if they haven't read the terms, they're just going to assume that. So if you've got a buyer who was like that, I myself, I'm like that. I don't want the cheapest of anything. I need the most luxurious service that I can do. And it's not even because and for me, my thinking around it is like, I just want to make sure that I can have the best result possible, right? So some people like that. If it's within their capacity to do so, some people only ever look at that more expensive option because they're just going to assume that it's going to be the best option to get them the quickest result possible, which obviously it should be. If it's the most expensive one, they're going to get the most out of it. But there are different types of buyers. Once you can understand that and you can have your services catered towards that, when you go full-time online with your business, it's going to make the whole process a whole lot seamlessly than you thinking, okay, I've only got one service. Why isn't every single person interested in joining with me on a one-to-one expensive coaching basis? Well, not everyone can afford it. Not everyone's interested in it. Some people are in a point in their life where they don't need that one-on-one approach. So they are happy to just do that cheaper option because maybe they've just had a baby and they're at a point where they're really not, super focused in terms of wanting that premium one-on-one, or maybe they are a super busy entrepreneur and like the last thing that they want is that one-on-one because it takes up too much time. It depends on the service obviously, but have a think about that, because you will get so many more new people in your door when you have those different services that you can offer. Mic drop. So guys, that's why it's super important that you do have those correct systems in place, so when you do decide to take your business full time, everything can run super smoothly and seamlessly. The last point I would really have to give you guys is honestly so simple, yet the most important one. And this is the thing, is I can talk all day about all of these different complicated topics and give you the exact XYZ breaking down exactly all the exact steps that you need to be taking. However, if you're not taking action, all of this stuff means nothing. How many of these kinds of videos have you watched? How many kind of success videos? How many times have you been brainstorming your different business ideas? It means nothing unless you can take action. One thing I heard once even Steve Harvey said that has also really stuck with me is he said something along the lines of, you know, he's not a perfect Christian, he only knows like 6 scriptures off by heart. However, all of those scriptures he's taken action and he's implemented and applied for his life, right? With that, he's seen the results. Obviously, he's very successful. Same kind of thing, you know, you can know the entire Bible like the back of your hand, but if you're not applying those to your life, it genuinely doesn't mean anything. It's not going to get you anywhere. You would be best off learn something, apply it, and this is the same for any book. It doesn't have to be the Bible. Any book that you read, if it's one of those, if it's a self-development book, read a chapter, apply it. Read a chapter, apply it. Don't read the whole book again and again. Keep trying to find this like one particular answer, because absolutely there's so many golden nuggets that you can find in each video, and the way that different people explain different things can absolutely help you 100%. I wouldn't be the person that I am today without the self-development videos I've watched and the podcasts I've listened to and the books that I've read. However, all means nothing if you're not taking action. So don't be the person who talks about it. Be the person who walks the talk, because you will get far further with less knowledge and taking action than all the knowledge in the world and not taking any action. So guys, that's all for today's video regarding when you should be taking your business online to completely full-time. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Adios.